All right, Sandy. I hope you can come and join me here. There we go. All right.
Internet,
Yay! There we go.
internet.
Sorry, everybody. We had to switch over here because for whatever reason, I could not figure out how to do it on Facebook.
I
So
know.
thank you, everybody, for being so patient with us.
Hi, folks.
Hey, so let's just wait a few minutes. Let people come on in and join us.
Oh, this is so cool. I feel like all those, I feel like DJ Nice. What's his name? D
D
Nice. I'm
nice,
like,
D nice, D nice, D nice, D nice. My name is D nice, and I'm taking out the suckers, and I don't know how I did it. D nice.
I didn't even know this was something you could do. And I realized that during the quarantine, everyone does this. Like, everyone's having these like live conversations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's all the rage, and I think 9 o'clock this time is a good time because it seems like everybody comes on between like 7:30, and 8 o'clock. So I figured that this time may be a better time for us.
We're on prime
So
time. Prime
we're
time.
we're on prime time, and everybody, at least everybody in my house, is like watching TV and leaving each other alone. So
Tan-
yeah.
ya está bueno para un día, ya hay que descansar. Ya está bueno.
All right, everybody. So let's get started. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I asked Sandy to join me so that we can have a conversation and be like, "Coño, coronavirus." I'm sure everybody has all kind of feelings about what we're all going through as a world right now. And so we just wanted to, have a chat and just talk about how we're feeling, how we're doing, give a few shout out to some brave Dominican folks out there who are doing really great work, especially Assemblywoman Karines Reyes from the Bronx. Woo, boogie down. She is a nurse and was out there representing and on the front lines taking care of patients with the COVID-19. And I read that she then went into quarantine for like about 2 weeks and then went back up to Albany to um, keep working for the state, for New York State, and representing us. So I just wanted to give her that quick shout out. And, let's just introduce each other. So, Sandy, please tell us a little bit about you, about how you're doing, how are things going for you and your students and all of that.
Hi, folks. I saw a few familiar names. Thank you so much for coming by to our primetime event, the debut. Um, I'm good. I'm not gonna lie. I was taking a nap not that long ago. I was thinking that we should start or maybe not start. I think a few people have already started the nap challenge. Just like tag each other and challenge each other to nap. I really needed a nap today. I was feeling it's not like one of the symptoms. I was just feeling tired. I think from all just like the mental processing because I've had to do a lot of work readjusting both of my classes. So I teach two classes now at Queens College, and we've just had to like kind of reorganize things. So I've had to be really creative with how to still cover the material given that we've missed a couple weeks, and just like addressing needs of students. But yeah, thankfully I'm feeling good health wise. I've been monitoring everything. It's been sad to be away from my family. So my family actually lives nearby, about 15 minutes away, but I've been social distancing just to be safe, to make sure we're not contaminating each other, because all of us were working in various parts of the city up until fairly recently. I've been off for about 2.5 weeks. So yes, so sorry, I am Sandy Placido, and I'm a assistant professor of history at CUNY Queens College, and then I also work at the Dominican Studies Institute. I am their Dominican Studies Scholar, which essentially means that I'm working on various research and writing projects. I'm a historian, so my work is focused on 19th, 20th century women's history, Caribbean history, people of color histories in the US. So that's me, and I'm feeling good, thankfully. Like, I'm taking that for granted less and less each day, the fact that I feel good, you know? So
Thank you, Sandy, for that. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's been the same challenge. And for a lot of my friends and a lot of people I know, this transition of having to be home and now everything is going to online and remote learning from first grade all the way through college and university. So everyone has been impacted by this. And, I mean, even though for me, I have been spending a lot of time,
One more cookie left.
Oh, and that's my daughter, Carmen, who's in the background. Let her say hello.
I had all of the Oreo cookies.
The Oreo cookies that I had to hide. And
I found them.
And then part of the negotiation was that she would stay with abuelo and abuela while I did this video live. Go with abuelo and abuela, okay, mommy? I'll see you later.
bye, Carmen.
Wait, when you go shopping, bring me Oreo.
Okay, I will.
Oh.
All right. So it's like this 24/7.
I'm like clutching my nameplate, clutching my pearls. Like, I see how it is over there.
So yeah, it's a challenge, especially for all my mom friends out there who just have to like juggle, because some people are still working, right? And for a lot of people, there's been even an extra push and more pressure being put on people, because managers and all those people are concerned about productivity and if they're going to still continue to produce. So, it's been really intense. I mean, I've been a little bit more lax about the whole thing because I'm more interested in keeping my sanity throughout all of this, and then, I came to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm staying with my parents, and I've been helping them out. They've been helping me out. So it's been, it's worked out, but, definitely this whole thing has, hurts in a lot of ways. So, yeah. And so, Sandy, how is it impacting your relationship with other folks right now that we're like social distancing? I know it was really hard for some people to do it, like, and to make the decision, like the clear decision that we are going to do this. That, I think a lot of people were, when they were first hearing about this whole coronavirus, they were thinking, oh, this is just the flu. Oh, you're just gonna, you'll be sick for 2 or 3 days and you'll be better. But as time goes on, people are learning more and more about it and taking it more seriously, but it's a process, right?
It really is. It's been hard. Like, as you know, I moved into this new place about a month ago now, and I haven't even had a housewarming. I think on the first day that I got the key, my mom came, peeked her head in, and then essentially the pandemic hit. So I haven't even been able to have my mom and sisters over to help me decorate. And so that was very anticlimactic after spending so long trying to get this place, not being able to have friends over for brunch. But my birthday happened in the last month, and I didn't.
Oh, happy birthday, Sandy.
Thanks. Pisces season. Pisces season. I know we're in Aries season.
Pisces season hit us hard, girl.
I know. I felt like a little guilty. I was like, sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh, look, my nephew's here. Yeah, so that was definitely hard. But I think early on, being an academic, like someone who just reads a lot, like, just my thing is just like consuming information like rapidly, like from as soon as I started reading and looking in and reading the fine print, I right away was like, no, this is serious. And so I remember very early on, I was like posting things on Facebook like, shouldn't we be wearing masks? Like, you know, I was already like, you know, my mom was like,
Yeah.
come over. And I'm like, no, like, you know,
Yeah.
my sisters and nieces were still working. And I'm like, no, tell your boss to send you home. Like, so I think I was, you know, all I'm saying to Blasio, Como, maybe you need a couple Latina women. Nah, I don't want to be in politics now.
Well,
But I'm
he
just
does have
saying,
he
like, a
does
lot
have
of my,
Dr. Osiris Barbeau, who's Puerto Rican. She's been there, leading this fight. But like, I think, just going back to that, I mean, we are, right, we're highly educated people, right? You're una doctora of history. I'm an attorney. But with that, our families may not necessarily see us in that light. And so they may think that we're just crazy and panicking when we're giving them this information. Because like with my mom, she's like, I Mija, you're just overreacting. You're just what we don't need to do all of those things. That's not gonna happen to us. And I'm like, and then when the announcement happened that Jenny Polanco, the Dominican
oh my,
designer, passed away, that really, like, in my house, it was like, oh shit.
yeah, yeah,
And then Johnny Ventura is sick now. And there's like another doctor, and there's like a lot of high numbers happening in San Pedro de Macorís in the
yeah,
Dominican Republic.
San
So
Francisco.
I think people are really starting to like say, okay, wait a minute, we need to sit down. And I think, with the focus on Dominicans, right? Washington Heights right now has one of the highest numbers
Yeah.
of people infected in New York City.
I remember that's like so early on when I was like panicking, and there's a park right across the street, and you know, at first, like I was taking my socially distant walks, but I just saw everyone playing in the track area, volleyball, soccer, and I'm just like freaking out. And I remember posting something, and people were like, yep, it's the same thing in Washington Heights. It's like business as usual. And I just started to be like, wait, is the messaging not being translated? I know
Mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Univision does its job, but maybe just people feel that they were feeling that exactly it wouldn't be so bad, that if they just
Yeah,
make their jarabes and their miel con cebolla, that no, but now that
exacto,
I think
exacto. Y su
the
té
change,
de jengibre.
yeah, I think that the change that's happening now is because these stories of people who actually have the illness are starting to circulate, and people realize, oh, this is not just a flu, like it's a horrendous, even the mild cases are extremely, you know, can be very painful. Like I've already
Yeah,
heard stories of just the experience of folks, and the coughing and feeling like you can't breathe, and the fever, and then the fact that it's drawn out, like you're sick for like 2 weeks,
or
you
more,
know,
or
or
more.
more. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
just, and it's like this. And I think as people are starting to see folks, they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
so
think, I think with Dominican folks in particular, we have been through so much, right? And in the island, like there's always some sort of like epidemic happening, whether it's dengue or the chunyunga. I don't even know how to
yeah,
how to say that
chikungunya,
word.
yeah, that
My
was,
my parents actually got that one time while they were in the
yeah,
DR, and and they were telling me how people really like, they really suffered too. They could hardly walk, like they could hardly
mm,
move. And so, but it's still, it's still like, okay, but you guys went through that and now this is happening and you're not alarmed. You still want
mm,
to like go to your girl's house and have people come over. And I'm like, no. And then my mom's like, why do you have to be like that? Why do you? And then she'll call people and be like, tú sabes, es que nos tiene que excusar, pero tú entiendes la situación y vamos, sí, sí, sí. And so, and it's like, why do I have to excuse myself? But, everyone has their way, right, of
yeah,
communicating around these things.
mm-hmm,
But, but it's so interesting, like, how to, maneuver around that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then just the reality that, of course, as you know, when I keep hearing all the conversations about the essential workers of New York City, I think one of the things we both know, being from New York City, and that I've always thought about, New York City is the working class people of our city are, you know, a lot of them are Dominican. You know, we have many
Yes.
other immigrant groups,
Yes.
but, you know, Dominicans make up a very large proportion of, you know, so whenever I'm imagining this kind of vague group that they call us essential workers, I'm just thinking of the fact that there are so many of the people from our community, and that definitely is something I've been thinking about. And then just thinking about the stress of also knowing, you know, what I've been thinking about with what's going on in the Dominican Republic, like the irony that a month ago we finally had this social movement pop off where everyone
Yep.
was out. And now a month later, everyone's like being,
Yeah.
you know, forced back inside. But I think the curfew's 5 o'clock now, 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Which is
mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm.
you know, for DR, that is like, that is just unheard of to have everyone in their house. Like that is,
Yeah.
and I just like, I'm just thinking in terms of psychologically, but also politically for that movement, how what a huge hit to the movement this has been over there. Like, and I hope there could be ways to keep the momentum going for that social movement on the
Yeah,
island.
I think that's the reality, like just all over the world,
Yeah,
right? You know, I mean, all throughout Latin America, there's been these uprisings and
yeah.
social movements that have been building. And then to have something like this, you know, to come into play,
Mhm.
it, you know, but then the interesting factor is these platforms, right? The fact that like even though this is happening, it doesn't mean we stop communicating. And actually, it's the opposite. And we're even communicating even more and
Sure.
getting more information. And the possibility of organizing may even be even greater because everyone
Even
is just
better.
sitting on home, you know, on their social media.
Yo, I've been connecting with people I haven't talked to in years. Like, I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, I discovered Marco Polo. Like I told you, I don't know, shout out to Marco Polo. I'm just like, yeah, definitely. I told myself that I would just have a running list of people I want to reach out to during this time, and maybe aim to reach out to at least one person per day. Cause yeah, I think you were the one who posted like, this is the perfect time to remind people to register to vote and fill out their census form.
Today's the census. Today, everyone, well, it's postponed, right? I mean, people can still get counted, but officially, today is like the day that everyone should fill out their census form. So everybody who's on here, take 10 minutes. Just go on to mycensus2020.gov, I believe it is. I'll make sure to post it around so that folks can, you know, go on and make sure that you, your household, your neighbors, everyone you know gets counted. Definitely.